So you have learned how we can use resources to avoid repetition of critical values. In this example, we have defined two resources, border radius and button background color. So if we need to change any of these values, we do it only in one place. But we can take this code to the next level and make it even cleaner. Look at our buttons. Both these buttons have four properties that are identical: background color, text color, border radius, and font attributes. In situations like this, where you have multiple controls that should look the same, you can pack all these properties into what we call a style. If you have experience in web programming, you probably know about CSS or cascading style sheets. In CSS, we have a concept called class, and a class can contain multiple attributes. We have the same concept here, and that's what we call a style. So here in our resources dictionary, I can define a style element. Once again, we give it a key so we can access it. And let's just call this button. Now this style has another property that we need to set, and that is called target type. And here we specify the type of our control, in this case, button. This property is critical to add here. If you don't add this property and reference this style somewhere else, Xamarin is not going to find it. I'll show you later in the demo. So inside the style element, we add one or more setter elements. So setter. Each setter has two attributes. One is property, let's say background color, and one is value. And here we can add a concrete value like gray, or we can reference a resource in our dictionary. We can use static resource markup extension and reference this button background color. Button background color. Just like that. Now for simplicity, I'm just going to use gray. Now I'm going to duplicate this 4 times and change these properties. Text color should be white. Border radius should be 20. And font attributes should be bold. Now that we have this style, instead of repeating these 4 properties here, we can use a style. So delete. We simply set style, and again we use static resource markup extension to reference this style element in our dictionary. So the key is button. Now similarly for the other button, I'm going to remove these 4 properties and use style attribute, static resource button. You can see our code is cleaner. We have better separation of concerns. So the properties that define the visual appearance of our buttons are defined somewhere else. And if in the future we want to give our button a different look and feel, there is one place to change it. And by the way, if you're going to use this style in multiple pages, you can define it in the application. But there is something tricky about style inheritance. Let me show you. So I'm going to open up app.xaml. Now back in our main page, I'm going to copy this button style back in the application. We're going to define resource dictionary. Now paste the style element. So here's our button at the application level. Now back in main page, I want to keep this background color and change it to, let's say, green. And then delete these other properties. What do you think is going to happen? Well, let's run the application and see. What? That looks really weird. That's not what you were hoping, right? So when you redefine this style element here with this key button, it completely overwrites what we have in the application. So it's not going to merge those properties because it's an entirely new object. So keep this in mind when overwriting styles. Now I'm going to take this style back to our main page. So just like before. Now we have a concept called style inheritance. So I can define another style here. Give it a key. Let's call this primary button. And once again, we set target type to button. But here I'm going to add another attribute called based on. I can base this style on another style. So I want to base it on this style we defined earlier. Now, because this is an item in our resource dictionary, we use static resource, markup extension, and the name is button. Now, with this new style inherits all the properties we defined earlier. And here we can add additional properties or override one or more of the existing ones. Let's say we want our primary button to look pink. So I can simply copy this setter, add it here, and change the background color to pink. Now for our login button, I can reference this new style, primary button. Let's run the application. And look, we've got proper style inheritance here. So if you have controls that should look more or less the same, it's better to define one or more styles and apply them to your controls. And by the way, you can always override any of the properties defined in a style. For example, in our login button, I can add the background color again and change this to, let's say, blue. This will override whatever we defined earlier. So keep it in mind. Now let's delete this. This way of defining styles is what we call explicit styles. So we give them a key, like button or primary button, and then we reference them using the style attribute. This approach gives us a lot of control. We can define various styles, we can inherit styles from each other, and we can selectively apply these styles to various controls. But let's say all our buttons are supposed to look the same. There is a cleaner and less noisy way to use styles. So we can remove this key here. And now we have what we call an implicit style. So because the target type of this style is button, it gets applied to all buttons automatically. And this means we don't have to set this style attribute anymore. And obviously, this makes our code cleaner and less noisy. The downside though is we can no longer use this based on attribute here. Because here we're referencing an item in our resource dictionary, but we remove this key. So this primary button style is no longer applicable. I'm going to delete this. In this case, if you want the background color of this primary button to be different, you can set it here, pink. Or if you're going to use this in multiple places and you don't want to repeat pink, you can use static resource and reference this color we defined in the resource dictionary, button background color. And of course, this can be at the application level, so it's available in all pages. So this is all about implicit and explicit styles. How you define them, how you structure them, where you put them is more of an art. And it's something that you may need to revisit as your application grows in size. Now, one last thing before we finish this lecture. Earlier, I told you this target type is critical. If you don't add this, Xamarin is not going to find this style. So just for a second, I'm going to put this key back here. Let's call this button. And then I'm going to reference this style and this button. So style is static resource button. Now, if I forget to put this target type attribute here, see what happens when I compile the application. We get an error. The given key was not present in the dictionary. Now, I'm getting this error at compile time because I have enabled XAML compilation, which I explained in section 2. If you have not enabled XAML compilation, you're going to see this at runtime. So remember to put this target type attribute here, button. And this concludes our discussion about styles. I hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.